Hi, Julia Watts here. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to be looking at Sentimentally Yours, and we're going to be looking at some of the brand new products that have just been released. And I'm going to be using brand new textures die. This one's called Brick Wall. It's an A6 die, and yours will come with an A6 magnetic sheet as well. So really useful. So we're going to be using that. All of the texture dies from Sentimentally Yours are fab. And this one here, which is a new sentiment coin set, and it's called Vintage Paraphernalia. Let's see if I've got, actually let's show you on this piece of white card so you can actually see it properly. It's not quite big enough, but you see we've got this beautiful big sentiment coin which actually measures, I've only got inches, let's see, just about 4 5/8 inches in diameter, and it goes with the kind of the Notebook Botanicals theme where we had all the postmarks and things on the set. So you've got that with it's two kind of different layers here with all the postmarks, and then you've got separate postmarks as well. And then, like with all the other sentiment coins that have come before, there are some borders. So we've got the Eiffel Tower border, and then there's one that's plainer with just the Eiffel Tower, there you see. And then we've got some postage stamps here, and we've got some solid and sort of dot dash kind of lines there as well. So that's what we're going to be using. I'm not going to use the whole coin itself. This really is a demo focusing on the brick wall texture die and how you can kind of use it and decorate it. So I've got a frame here that I've cut from pure white card. Oh, I should tell you, of course, as always, the products are available on my website, juliawattscrafts.co.uk, and also available over at honeypotcrafts.co.uk too. So this frame has been created using the Debossed double-stitched rectangles, and so I've cut a frame, or I've placed my die, then I've missed one, and then I've placed the next size up. So it's a next but one size up to create this size frame. If you want a narrower frame, you just cut the two adjacent dies. Bigger frame, miss two, and then cut the next but two die. And I've got some 2mm foam tape on the back of that. I've also got a mat here which has been cut out of one of the pearlescent cardstocks that Sentimentally Yours do. Can't remember the name of this, sorry. And it's the next size up, so that will go on there like that. But what I wanted to do was create like looking through a, not necessarily a brick wall, but you know, the kind of oh, what's it called, trellis sort of wall. I know this is brick, but just looking through a garden. And I had to look through my papers, and I've got this Studio Light one from a few years back. It's scrap US 27. I don't know which collection it's from, but 12 by 12, and it's a really nice, pretty floral paper. So I've used this section here. And you can get quite a few cards, probably 6 out of one of these. So I'm sure you've got loads of 12 by 12. Obviously I could have used one of Phil's papers, but I wanted to kind of look through the brick wall at the paper below. So you can see where I've die cut it, I can see the flowers behind it. And this is cut from, I think this one's called Warm Stone, from the premium cardstock from Sentimentally Yours. So that will go on there like that. So let's get that stuck first of all. Did cut absolutely beautifully first time through, no problem, didn't need anything else. So I think what we're going to do is, should we scribble it, or should we, let's just do this actually. Let's just do a line of it. Now what I could have done, and what I probably should have done, but I was so excited to cut it, was actually cut it with some double-sided adhesive sheet on the back, and then all you need to do is peel it off and you're good to go. I've kept all the fall away pieces because I'm thinking I might slot them, or slot some of them back in a different, a brick wall that I cut out of a different colour. Of course, if I'd have cut it with double-sided adhesive sheet, that would be very, very easy to slot back in. But having said that, it's not too difficult to do some paper piecing with them because they are quite big bits. So that'll be the next thing I do with this. I think this is going to be the most popular of the new texture dies. There are 3 new texture dies, all A6. But this is the one I pulled out first. So I think we need this. And of course you can use this as a stencil as well. And I'll probably be doing that as well at some point. So much to do. Not enough time to do it all though, unfortunately. Because, you know, life gets in the way sometimes, doesn't it? And you have to do life things as well. So I'm not gonna go too mad on the down bits of the bricks, but what I will do is pop a bit on the sides. Now I'm not too worried about the fact that there's too much glue here because I'm going to blot a lot of it off, so I don't want to make too much of a mess. My frame doesn't go quite to the sides, which is why I'm putting a bit of glue on there like that. So we're going to get our good old trusty old kitchen roll, blot it off, and we'll pick it up. Let's put that to one side, and then we can pull this off the kitchen roll before it sticks. Come here. And we want to see if we can get it pretty much in the middle-ish and straightish. Might need to trim it down a little bit, but I think that looks pretty good. And we use a different piece of kitchen roll to press it down, just so we don't get glue all over the place. There we go. Fabulous. Got a little black bit there. Don't know where it went. Disappeared. Okay. Let me see. I can see my flowers through my brick wall. Love it, love it, love it. Right, so now we're going to stick our frame on with our 2mm. I have been using just 1mm foam tape. I don't know why I picked 2mm up this time, just so that it can not be as high as the postage. But I think once you put a few layers on anyway, you might as well send it as a large letter. I'm sure all fills are all small parcels. Right, so the light's reflecting. It looks like that's damage, but it isn't. I am going to put flowers, so it doesn't matter too much if it's not 100%, because my flowers are going bottom left and bottom right and top left. Let's stick to that now. It's good old foam tape, this. Right. I think it's straightish. It's not actually. Hopefully we'll be able to disguise that. It's not very easy when I'm round a camera and sitting down and not standing up. That's very wonky. I can't move it now because it's on tape. Right. We'll just pretend that didn't happen. And we'll then stick this to our lilac piece. Maybe I should have put a bit of glue on. Right, I'm going to stand up so I can do this properly. Okay, that looks pretty good. Already looks fab, doesn't it? And we're going to grab some just 1mm tape to put our lilac onto our base card. Now we'll pretend that this is a proper card. I'm not going to make a proper card this time because I'm going off to the studio, and so it doesn't need to be a proper card. It's a waste of card for me to do that. Grab that in the middle, because nobody likes a saggy middle. Some of us have to put up with it, unfortunately. You get to a certain age, everything sags, doesn't it, unfortunately? It does when you sit on your bottom making cards all day, or doing journal pages or whatever. Still, it's a life choice, isn't it? Get the back off. If you struggle, just use a pokey tool instead. That helps, or tweezers. And then we're going to put this, make sure my flowers are at the bottom where I wanted them, on our base card. Pretty. Okie dokie, now we can decorate it, now we can change it and put our flowers on and really dress it up. That's the basis of it. So put that to one side for a minute, and we will go to our bits and pieces. So I've got let's see, I've got a Just For You, which has been cut from the Just For You frame sentiments, which you will find on my website and also on Phil's website. I think there's a discount on those at the moment. So we're going to decorate these. Can't make my mind up whether I want to or not. What we're going to do is get the flowers out. So for the flowers, we're going to have 4 down the bottom and 1 up the top. And the ones down the bottom, I've got pairs. So out of the lilac pearlescent card, we've got this one, which is called, the names of them, Floral Finery Dotty Tips, which is back in stock on my website. Then we've got the plain one, and I'm using the 6 petal one, which is the one we're going to change. This one's called Wonderfully Plain. And then we've also got the Lacy Tips as well. I think it's called Lacy Tips. Yeah, Lacy Tips. We've also got that one as well, which I've cut out of the silver mirror card, and is the Sentimentally Yours silver mirror card that I've used. I've also got my leaves as well, which are to one side, which is the Whimsy Foliage. I've cut all of those all ready to use. So what we want to do is, got 4 plain ones here, and we're going to decorate those. Excuse me. So have I got a piece of paper that I can stamp on top of? No, just grab one. Just so I don't make too much of a mess. So I thought about using some of the texture stamps that we've got, and then I thought, well, no, let's actually use some of the new stamps. So that's where the sentiment coin is going to come in. So we're going to actually decorate this with some of the postage stamps, I think. I quite like this one at the top. So this is the first time I've stamped these stamps, so what we'll do is we'll stamp them off and then stamp them on. And I'm going to use milled lavender because I think it tones with the card quite nicely. So I think that kind of works. Yeah. So let's see how this looks. Oh, that's quite nice actually. Let me show you. Can you see? I don't want it to be too in your face, but I do want it to be, I'm going to do it the wrong way. I do want it to be decorated rather than not decorated. Doesn't have to all be on it. See, you can't really tell what it is, but there's something on it. It just adds to it. You could, of course, use a stencil as well. You could just ink the edges. There's loads of things you can do. You can cut them out of pattern papers. I really like the plain ones. I think the plain ones are my favourites because for me, they're the most versatile. The others are really, really pretty. It's nice to have them all, actually. I'm just going to put some on that one there. I'll show you this one. Isn't that fabulous? And you never manage to stamp it exactly the same twice. So I've used the sizes I've used the 2 smallest flowers on each of the sets. This one we're going to stamp a few more times because I wanted that a bit more. Let's do that a little bit down there. See, this is why I've got this underneath here. I think I might actually stamp the sentiment now I've started. We're just going to leave that one as it is. Yeah, I think I will stamp the sentiment just to give it a little bit more interest. It's quite, I like it white, but I think we're all going to just do this just because I can. Yeah, that looks fab, actually. You see, it's very, very pale. Don't look at my bruise. My finger's just bruised for no apparent reason. I think I was just trying to get my slipper on and I bruised my finger. I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm very odd. Just for and you. It doesn't take long. I think this is the fun bit. Changing things so that they're absolutely, completely unique. Just for you. Fabulous, love that. And of course that will just, you can just spritz that with a bit of water, and as I will do, and then that cleans right on off. I will actually just run it under the tap as well with a nail brush. That's the only time I really clean my stamps, is when it's got a dye-based ink on it. Okay, so that's our milled lavender. And those are all of our flowers and our sentiments. So we will shape the flowers now. So all I'm going to do with the flowers is just put my finger in the centre. See if I can show you. And then just jimmy them a little bit. Make sure you're not too rough, because they are only little, but that gives them a little bit of shape. And let's do this one as well. This one I'm going to be a bit more gentle with, and I'm just pushing my finger underneath. See, just to push it up. So I'll continue doing that, and I'll stick these on there, and then we'll come back and we'll assemble my card. So I just thought I would actually do this in front of you, just in case you hadn't actually seen it before. So stick the sentiments together. Excuse my very dirty mat. If I use this one, then I don't have to clean up for a little while. So scribble some PVA onto your craft sheet, and then using your tweezers, you can just dip the kitchen roll as well. You can just dip the sentiment in the glue, lift it up. I normally dab it off on my kitchen roll, and then you can pop it on your layer like so. as I just. And then we'll have the fork. And dab it off to get rid of the excess. Especially with mirror card, you don't want it kind of going all over the place, mirror card. And then we've got the U. You can dab that off. And pop that down. It does tend to slide around a little bit on the mirror card, which is a little bit of a nuisance. Okay, that's that. Then I'll get rid of that as well. And the flowers, I've already started sticking a couple of them together. So for the silver ones, they're going to go at the back. And then we're going to have one of the stamped on plain ones is going to have the lilac dotty one on the top, just to make it look different. And then I'll press it down with an embossing tool onto my shaping mat. And then this one's going to go on here. There's lots and lots of different ways to shape flowers. Phil's done loads of videos. In fact, there is a video, I think, just about shaping flowers on his YouTube channel, which is Crafting with Phil Martin and Sentimentally Yours, if you've not come across it. And then I'm thinking, I can't decide whether to use white pearls or whether to do silver pearls, or whether I could use gems, actually. That might be quite nice. Gem in the centre. And we've got some 5mm that will go in the centre of that. That might be quite nice. Or, see, I'm just dithering. Dither. Or we could use white ones. It's a little bit boring though. Let me show you. It's nice, it's very elegant. Or we could go for the silver ones. Which are more in your face. Oh, I can't decide what to do. I think I'm going to go with silver, actually. But obviously, options. You have lots of options. And it is a good idea just to try them, see what they look like, before you commit with glue. Make sure I put these all back in the right pot. I've had that really annoy me. So we're going for silver. I think this is called, because the gold's called Gold Star, I think the silver's called Silver Star, but you see sometimes I get mine without a label on, so it's kind of, guess what I'm called. Right, so let's pop our glue in the centre. You could use the stamens as well. I quite like doing that. I saw Helen do it from the design team, and I thought, well, yeah, I might get my stamens out. It looks lovely. I'm not sure if they're still available, but if you got them, don't forget your stamens, because they are wonderful. Or you could use some teeny tiny flowers, but these are the smallest flowers of these, so can't go much more than that. Pick up tool, best invention ever. Best invention ever. I think that's central. So we want we're having the 8mm in the centre of the bigger flowers, because we can. Obviously, if you wanted to, you could put more glue in the centre and then add glitter. It's also quite nice to actually use your stickles, and if you use a good dollop of stickles, the bit that kind of oozes out is going to actually dry nice and glittery, so you've got your job done for you anyway. I have got stickles on my website if you want any. Great product from Ranger. The best glitter glue, I think. And it lasts such a long time. Okay, so there's all my flowers with my silver gems in the centre. Okie dokie, let's assemble this card. So I've got my leaves already. Got my flowers already. And I think we just, do we want to put foam tape? No, we're not going to bother with foam tape on the back. I can't be bothered. We don't need it. It's not needed at all. Right, so let's pop our flowers on. So I thought I was going to have, this one's going to go up here. I did take a photograph of it, just so I remembered what I was doing. Then we're going to have 2 of these down here, like so. I think that's what we're going to do, and then that's going to go over. That's too many of those though, isn't it? Let's put that one up there. Let's put that one down there. And that one can go here like that. I think that's going to be what we're going to do. And it kind of hides the fact that it's not on straight. And we have got leaves as well. I think this is how I was going to do it. This is what it's going to do now anyway. And we're going to have a big leaf up here. I know Phil likes to put his leaves on second, but I don't use glue gel, so we might have to put our leaves on first. I think we're going to have them so they're really kind of framing it. I think that's what we're going to do. Anyway, let's put the big leaves on first, because we can. And we'll make it work. This is the Emerald Pool card with the Whimsy foliage. And what am I doing here? Let's leave that one there. Let's put the flowers on first. So we're going to have one here and one here. Obviously, if you're using glue gel, you can build them up so they fit on your frame nicely. But I'm not. So we're not. I just want to make sure that we cover up that stem. You can also perhaps put a little bit of foam tape underneath the flower. Oh, gems are moving. Okay. Did that go there? No, I want that one up there. I don't want the 2 silver ones next to each other, do I? And then I've got these other leaves, so we can have some other leaves poking in there. Might just cut a bit off. Scissors. This is always the faffy bit. It's the thing that always takes time. We're going to have one going in there like that as well. And this is Olive Grove card. And then I was going to have, I think, one in there, maybe. Yeah. Just tucking in. And then another one perhaps under that one. Does it look bad because it's wonky? See, when I laid it out, it wasn't wonky, but now it's wonky. It's a little bit. It's a little bit annoying. Just a little bit annoying. So on up here, we're going to have the big leaves from in the Olive Grove, which are big plain leaves, just as something different. I do wonky very well, I have to say. Dirty marks and wonky things wind me up a treat. But when you haven't got any sort of camera in front of you, it's easier. Regardless of whether it's live or not. Because I could have just given it up and just started again, but I'm just pushing on. So we're going to have that one in this corner here. I'll have it up a bit. Let's have it there. And then we can poke in. Obviously you could do more leaves, more flowers than that, but I thought it was quite nice just to have one in the corner and then the 4 down here. What was I going to do with that? Was I going to tuck that in there? I think so. Probably totally different to how I was going to do it. That's always the way, isn't it? Okie dokie. Hopefully that's going to stick there. Does that look a bit weird? It does a bit. That's a bit better. Hopefully that'll stick. Right, okay, so now we've got Just For You that needs to go on here. So we've got, see, normally you'd use the lines to get it straight, but my lines aren't straight because they're all on wonky. Just You 4. Oh dear. Just You 4. Just You Forget. JYU. Y. No, JFY. That's it, isn't it? JFY. That'll look good though, won't it? We'll pretend it's all straight. Just tilt your head slightly and then it'll all be straight. Oh dear. And obviously this will stick to the actual brick wall bit because that's the raised bit. I'm pleased I decided to stamp on those though. That's something I'm happy about. Just for you. You can get your spacing as well because the bricks are all even. Let's have a look. Yeah, I'm quite happy with it, although it's not straight. We'll pretend it is. We won't tell Phil. He won't notice, hopefully. Yeah, he will. Do I want to stick a pearl in each corner to finish it? That's the question. Let's have a look. Does that finish it off? It does, doesn't it? So let's do that, just to finish it off. It's actually very handy having the camera sometimes. Sometimes it isn't, and sometimes it is. So I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you're liking the new texture dies and the new stamps. Obviously I've not done much with the stamps as yet, but we will have other videos for you to watch across the design team and myself, and obviously Phil as well. You never know, we might be able to get Karen to do something as well. Okay, so that's all done. I'm quite pleased with that, although my brick wall's wonky, but we'll just move on, Julia. I think that background paper works really well. Obviously experiment with your papers. You could use obviously an embossed background. I just wanted it to be a subtle background. Yeah, I'm quite pleased with that. Quite happy with that. So as I said, you'll find the products over on my website, juliawattscrafts.co.uk. And you'll also find them over on the Sentimentally Yours website, which is actually honeypotcrafts.co.uk. Do like and subscribe. I love to read your comments. They are held, and then once I see you're a real person, I let them through and reply. And do check out some of my other videos and watch out for more videos with the new release. Thank you for watching.